what is discipline? You've heard this word too much, not a lot, too much. People use it just for the sake of using it. But let's go back to what discipline means to me. So, when you are disciplined, that means you are doing stuff when you don't want to do them. For example, when you, let's say you are in a fat loss diet and you are eating less food than you are maintaining, so you are going to lose weight. At some point, it will become uncomfortable. Why? Because your body doesn't want to lose the weight and you are going to be more hungry than usual. And you are going to want to eat more food naturally. So you have to be disciplined enough to say no to the hunger. 1 second, because it's too much noise. You have to say no to the hunger and you have to stay hungry to get lean. Of course, there are 1,000 ways how can you mitigate hunger, but if you are going to lose weight, you are going to feel hungry and you have to deal with it. Discipline is when you have a goal and you go through uncomfortable stuff and you are willing to go through this uncomfortable stuff long enough until you reach your goal. That's why people fail doing things, because they don't actually care. They don't actually care. If you are losing weight and you are eating more than you should and you know it, you don't really care about losing weight. Because if your line was on the line, you're not going to cheat your diet. You're not going to, I do not care if I'm hungry. If you think I'm going to die if I touch one more calorie than I should, you are not going to do it because your line depends on it. I don't say you have to be crazy and to think everything relies like if you fail you're going to die, but this helps. If you're going to win something small, for example, today when my alarm goes off, I'm going to wake up and then I'm going to wash my teeth and then I'm going to take a shower, and I'm not going to stay 1,000 hours in the shower, and I'm going to do it fast. And then I'm going to drink some water and take my food that I made last night and go to work fast, right? And do everything fast, no scrolling, no just doing shit, right? It's a small win, every action. And if you continue to do small wins, you're not comfortable. You want to stay a little bit more in bed. You want to take your time. But if you're going to do uncomfortable things and you are going to do 1,000 uncomfortable small things, you are going to be more more inclined to do uncomfortable things. And let's say now you are losing weight and you just started the gym. And of course, it's hard. It's hard to do all these things. It's hard to be hungry, to be hungry and not eat. Let's say you have the best structure. I have one of the greatest structures in the world. Not because I'm special, because it's simple. But I still feel hungry. I still feel like I don't want to train hard. I still feel like wasting time. I still feel like it, but I don't do it because my goal is here and the level of discomfort is here. So the level of discomfort is not bigger than my goal. So I cannot fail. If you don't care about it, you are going to quit when you are going to feel uncomfortable. It's very simple. People don't want to do uncomfortable things. That's just human nature. It's not. I don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a scientist to understand this. So, how can you use this in your advantage? Let's say, because this is like a fitness channel, I want to talk about fat loss. I just talked to my client and he said, bro, I'm not that hungry, but I have a lot of cravings. And I said, bro, you can do this, but at the end of the day, just let me know. Like, if you cannot do this anymore and you know you are going to binge, talk to me, you are going to raise up the calories and go back to maintenance. And if you want to lose more weight, we are going to do a fat loss later. And he said, no, I can do like whatever I can start, but I wanted to ask you, right? So You see, this guy cares so much, and he is not putting his life on the line, but he has self-respect. He's like really has this weird thing that I have never seen in anybody. How can I look if I actually put my head down and actually try it, right? For example, I have that right now, but I have also this thing that I put my life on the line too fucking much in too many things. It works, but it's not a good thing to do also because you become kind of crazy, right? If you do everything, but it's working. So I'm not going to say to not do it because I'm doing it. I don't want to be a hypocrite or whatever that word it means, but I don't want to. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. Like for all the things when I'm training in the gym, sometimes I think in the set I would rather die than not do this fucking set good. If I quit, I would rather this weight stumps me and I will die right here. And this is my last fucking set. And I will do it as hard as I fucking can. If I die, I don't care. This is the last set of my life. And I'll do it. And I'll do it good. This is extreme. Yeah, it's fucking extreme. Of course, it's extreme. But let's go back to reality, right? Let's say you are a normal human being who is pretty fat or you are skinny fat and you want to get leaner. Besides having a good structure, which I have a video, just comment like in this like YouTube video comment section or DM me on Instagram and I can send you the video with my experience and the structure that I come up with, right? You need to have a structure. You need to know what can you do to actually go and reach your goals. But what matters most is not the plan. Yeah, the plan will make your life easier for sure. But if I have to choose between two persons who one doesn't really care but has a great plan and one doesn't have any fucking plan but his life depends on it, I would bet on the guy that his life depends on it. You don't have to be extreme, but you have to care enough about your reason to lose fat for your goal. For example, to lose fat, right? You have to care. Why do you want to lose fat? Because I want to look better. Why do you want to look better? Because I want to get girls. That's it? Yeah, bro, that's it. Yeah, you're not going to lose the weight. I could give you a thousand, too many fucking reasons. I'm going to yap too much if I'm going to say my reasons why I'm doing this. Maybe they're not they're not true, but I have so many reasons why I want to become a bodybuilder. So many reasons, so many things that stack on each other and compound on each other. And my reasons are so big that I cannot I cannot be undisciplined. It's impossible for me because it will hurt more to be undisciplined than actually the pain of being disciplined and doing uncomfortable stuff. For you, it may be easier to eat food, too much junk food, get fat, than actually be hungry and become lean. For you, it may seem better. So I can understand you may look in the mirror 2 or 3 days and feel like, I'm not looking great, but I put a big t-shirt on and eat whatever and forget about it, and my environment supports my actions. But in my head, oh my fucking god, I talk, I'm, I'm a dick in my head. I talk so bad with me. It's not a good habit, and not that I'm trying, but I'm talking better with myself because I was talking so bad, like so bad. I didn't do one rep in the gym and I thought I was worthless and it was better to die that day because I missed a rep. But I actually tried my best, right? Again, I'm going to the tangent of being extreme, but if you want to lose weight, let's say you are fat and you want to lose weight, please, for the love of God, you don't have to, you can take a paper and a pen, but you can just think in your mind, what is the reason I want to lose weight? And if you come up with a lot of reasons, your why, your why is very important. I want to lose weight because I want to look better, to be healthier. Why do I want to look better? So I can have better human interactions with other people. Why do I want to have better human interactions? How are your current human interactions with people in social environments? Well, they're not that bad. They laugh at me. I feel shit okay. why that? Why do you care about that? Okay, because this. Okay, why do you want to be healthier? Because I want to live longer. Why do you want to live why do you want to live longer? Because I want to experience more things and to stay close to my family. Why do you want to do that? Because, and you go like this. And if these goals are actually have a meaning in you, you are going to lose the weight. You are going to lose the fucking weight. And I give you a tip, right? At some point, I don't think people have really important things like to care about, like actually sacrifice themselves. Majority of them, they have some, but not to sacrifice. So when you're in a fat loss diet and you've been losing weight for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and you are tracking everything as you should, and you are so hungry, you realize that your why is not a big enough to continue. You have to do two things: increase your why or go back to maintenance slowly. If you cannot increase your why and stick through this fucking pain, increase your calories slowly, go back to maintenance, stay at maintenance, live your life that way, and after 2, 3, 4 months, or when your hunger stabilizes, if you want to lose more weight, go back and lose more weight. You can use drugs like Reta, you can use 1,000 fucking ways, but this is like the only thing that you can actually do. Because if I have a client that I know his why is not big enough and he will fail this, I would rather him going slow at maintenance and being at maintenance than losing 2, 3 more kilos or pounds and then binge eating and getting all the weight back. That is a fucking waste. If that happens, I'm just a bad coach. And of course, you have to talk to me. I have to understand. It's not that I'm your therapist. Yeah, I'm your therapist if I'm your coach, right? But I have to understand like how hungry are you? Are you willing to go through this stuff? How do you feel like if you feel like you're going to binge and your life doesn't depend on this diet, you are going to binge for sure. So do this stuff and you are going to be 1,000 times better, and you are going to realize if you are actually going to make something or not. The only people that do things in life, they have a big enough why, because life is uncomfortable, it's hard, you know. And even if it's fat loss, even if it's hypertrophy, that means building muscle, even if it's business, money, everything, you need to have your reason, your goal, and you have to have your why. You don't have to have one why, you have to have 1,000 whys, and your life in your head at least should be worse than not having those things, than not achieving those goals. For some people, not being, for example, for me, I have a good life now from the outside, but I cannot think right now, maybe in the future I will change, right now that I will stop, I will go back to a job and just live my life like everybody does, because I cannot be a slave. I cannot just listen to somebody for the rest of my life, and those somebodies are not looking for the best thing in me. If I have a coach, of course I am going to listen to him, but if I have somebody at work that just says stuff to say stuff, I'm not going to listen to them, because they don't have the best intentions in heart, and they're going to mistreat me. It happened to me. I don't want to work in a job ever. I don't want to do that. At least, yeah, of course, probably I will have to, but not for the rest of my life. And that's why my goals are to be financially free, to have a decent amount of money or a bigger enough pile of money so that I don't have to work ever again. And I want to become a bodybuilder because I like everything besides dying early, but I can take care of it, right? I like everything, the training, the diet, the nutrition, how I look, the mental aspect, every fucking thing. And it's just logic to me that I'm going to become a bodybuilder, take care of my health, and be financially free, because I have so many reasons and I feel so fucking shit if I will not become those things. My why is big enough, and that's why you can see that I take a lot of risk, that I make a lot of sacrifices, that I am very disciplined, but in fact, my why is big enough. My goals are so important to me because I have a lot of whys, and you probably don't achieve things because your why is not big enough. That's it.